well lived. And you count the number of times you've eaten Dippin' Dots. You gotta take that number up. Whatever your number is, up it. More Dippin' Dots. Get it in, people. Okay, so we out here at Wild Island. We're having a crazy time. I'm just so full of vigor and nostalgia right now. I got a splashy splooshin' mushroom behind me. I'm in like a lounge chair. I feel like a true baddie. So I wrote a very passionate poem today. As you'll see on the first page, I wrote in like riddles and arrows because my mind was going a lot of different directions. So just so you know, this is high octane adventure. It's very hard to read. So it's extra high stakes. I need more of this, my friends. Oh yeah. Banana split flavor. The brain freeze. It's worth it. Okay. My boo's probably right. By the time I get through the poem, it's gonna be. By the time I get through the poem, this is gonna be soup. But it's okay. It's worth it. It's worth it, my people. Got my backwards visor, feeling VV cool. So here we go with it. Some inspo. Here it is. I'm gonna scoot a little closer because I feel like we got mad background noise. Here we are. We rebels. Just like Betty Boop. Alright, it's got a crazy name. It's called Nacho Cheese Fry Vices and Italian Ices. Gee, I really like it. L.A.Z.R.V.R. L.A.Z.R.V.R. Okay, here we go. Cue the screaming. We should have saw it coming. Don't do well with normal drumming marching orders. Whoa, Joe. Two broads. Kings, queens, jesters, and frauds. I've logged the most vanity plates per state here. On a hot rod last night. IBPLUMN. Plumin? Like plumes as in smoke? Or like plummin as in fruit? So much to intuit in droves of families in swimsuit coves. They drove from near and wide to stand neath the gushing mushroom fountain and ride the heart-racing rides. Face first slides? Face first slides. Oh my. Oh God, where do I go from here? Oh my. A real banger. We're no strangers to locking keys in cars, par for the course when it's this full force hot. The parking lot pavement cooking eggs. Time to recoat our legs with sunscreen. The estimated time of arrival is 119 minutes. We collectively swim it. Every individual has a separate limit. This is a gift, and they trim it with bubbles. Peeps all have different versions of trouble. Nobody muddles their smiles here. Dudes in a brotherhood of tattoos cheer a water park beer. Difficult to steer away from kids shaking up, rule breaking, even in the steady flowing lazy river. You shiver when you first get out of any water submersion. I have an aversion to pushiness, which often comes less from the children and more from their parents. But we share the transparent water, young lovers, mothers and daughters, single men who always single out my attention when I catch them staring aggressively too long. We all do and don't belong. Pop songs subtly bounce the throngs and put a little bubblegum summer pep in their steps. I could place bets on when the next reprimanding lifeguard whistle's gonna blow. I always know the moment before someone's about to make a stir. Some people are pure playful, and others are insufferable, playing dirty all day. I looped the lazy river and began to enjoy the methodical way the young tan safety enforcement team starts off with a mean and stern no head shake first, in the rule breaker's general direction. Next step is a harsher, more definite, more at stake, with the whistle placed in the mouth. Then, if things really go south and tisk tisk shit's going down, that clown gets a full ass whistle blow to the face. I saw so many of those, I just figure most youngins simply love the taste of a good vexation, causing a little wave of irritation. The warning whistles break my poetry concentration, but I don't mind it. It's vacation observances. This is a convergence of so many types. Those rowdy ones who truly belong at Wild Island. The demanding, the over-planning, the sexy, the meek, the uptight. Those who keep the mood bright with unfiltered enthusiasm, like that. And like the girl who moaned, I didn't even want to come here in the first place. Those who couldn't fathom why this is any fun. Old and young in various stages of the zone. Our friend said in a velvety tone as we rode that lazy L.A.Z.R.V.R, I am in such a zen state right now. I people watch and wonder how some folks get such firm butts. Little tiki huts beckon me with Dippin' Dots and other varying degrees of indulgence. You get a sense of who people are by how they play. I gotta say, it's good to see a nice smattering of laughter energy and even screeching giddy bursts. I maintain a sandy-tongued thirst. You observe the best and worst when the crowds flock. When the crowds flock, I'm always tuning in to hear how others talk. I sit and walk and listen passively. You hear a sampling of humanity. Like a sweet man and his son, the boy says, how much hours have we been here? Dad steers the child in his tube. We've been here 4 hours, my dude. 4, the son repeats. Okay, says he, let's stay 1 more hour. The Pops is losing steam power. Well, bud, he says, let's get ice cream and then go. The boy thinks it over and says, okay, if you get me ice cream, then I guess so. You can fly or drop suddenly or go slow with the machine-made current flow. The plastic slides glow and I feel a bit younger and lighter. A vast collection of real gingers are like blue sky fire igniters. They're popping up every few feet. I even had the luck to meet a new friend I may never see again. My group was going on a scary slide I couldn't even pretend to be brave enough for. I like to know exactly what's in store when it comes to taking bodily risks. So I waited with my posse, then switched into the line for the safe bet slide. I met eyes with the girl ahead of me and conversationally connected, telling her about my fears of certain thrills, told her about the spills I took when I was first learning to ride a bike at the ripe age of 15. She was keen on all kinds of high-intensity things like roller coasters. I told her I cannot bolster the same bravery. She expressed a deep thought that will stay with me, stating that the more you build up a fear, the larger and more scary it appears. Just don't let your mind see it as big, and then you'll be less scared. I wasn't prepared for her to school me in our brief chat in the line. We connected our minds. She told me about Australia with a hilarious observance. I didn't like it all too much since it was so very hot, she said, matter-of-factly. She made a funny face and said, it's like, okay, can we go now? And my parents wanted me to take in the experience. I added, yeah, and you're about to pass out. She laughed and said, exactly. Her sincerity and heart impacted me. She is smart and a free spirit. I decided to give her some advice because I knew she would actually, truly hear it. With good eye contact, I said, the one thing you have to try to hold on to always is your imagination. You get to be about 12 and they try to start taking it away from you. You just refuse to let it go. She processed what I said and responded, oh, okay, yeah, I will. And I can still feel her conviction in that pledge. I went further in the thought. Your creative mind is one of the most important things you've got. People my age, a lot of them anyway, just stop imagining. That part of them just goes away, poof. But you just strengthen your imagination like a muscle. Keep using it, then it will be destruction-proof. She smiled a large grin with big tooth gaps, and I knew she'd grasped my gift of perspective quite well. I could tell she'd hold on to it longer than most could or would. I felt good imparting my goddess Yoda wisdom to her. She held it like a Fabergé egg, honoring the meaning. It's nice to see a young person actually gleaning some useful tools for the future. We scooted closer to our destination, the body slide tube. I felt in a happy mood. I thanked her for a quality chat. See, she answered back so funny, saying, "Yeah, people just look at you crazy and stare ahead. Like nobody talks in line or anything. Why are people boring like that?" She was almost up. I chuckled. I ask myself that all the time, Lily. That's her name, my line friend. I told her, use that imagination muscle. You'll never be bored. She told me, good luck and have fun. Don't be afraid. I'm glad I made that friendship, however momentarily it may have been. The other hilarious moment in our lazy river swim was seeing a young lad lifeguard do a hard, assertive toss of his whole big gulp drink onto his blonde female coworker. She did not laugh or smirk, but recoiled in horror. His supervisor sounded the loudest "you are so busted" whistle from a huge tower above. No kid gloves for that kind of misbehaving. He bellowed, "Hey, that is improper lifeguard etiquette." If that didn't get the message across, I don't know what would. He stood and bowed his head in embarrassed acknowledgement, then went back to nervously tapping his whistle on the rail. It's been a whale of a time letting out my inner child at Wild Island. 10 out of 10 stars. Would recommend. A few quotes that I couldn't squeeze into the poem. A girl of 8 with her friends up at the top of the line says, "People always tell me I'm so skinny, and I love to go, 'Oh, you think I'm skinny?'" She laughed so loud the sound lifted. A little boy ran screaming, twirling his arms in a windmill airplane fashion, going, "Wild Island! Wild Island! Wild Island!" And my friend Lily also said, in regard to how hard it is to stand around people who won't talk, a place is only as fun as the people around you there. You made the line fun, Teal. That was heartwarming and special. So anyway, it's been absolutely amazing. My Dippin' Dots is soup now, but it's okay because I'm gonna drink it. Oh, see, you dig under, and the dots emerge. They thrive. They're okay. They're alive and well. So it's been swell. What a great video. Wild Island, big fan.